Yeah, we are live.
There.
What's up, everybody?
In the box.
What?
We're in the little box here.
You mean we're on YouTube?
Yeah.
Yeah, we are live on YouTube. Welcome to Dave and Johnny Live, the Friday afternoon edition of the Super Show that we do every single week. How's everybody doing? Is everybody recovered from Wrestling Uncensored episode 400? It was quite a weekend last weekend, Big Johnny.
It was fun. A lot of fun. It was cool to meet everybody. It was cool to hang out with Wally pretty much all weekend. A lot of fun.
Yeah, our man Wally from Ireland came all the way out from Ireland to Montreal to celebrate with us Wrestling Uncensored episode 400 last weekend. And we got to hang out with him and his girlfriend Amy all weekend. It was very nice to hang out with both of them and get to know Wally and get to know a lot of you that showed up at Wrestling Uncensored episode 400. It was very cool to meet all of you guys. And we'll do it again. We will do it again. I know people... That's what's cool about, I guess, the post Wrestling Uncensored is that everybody's talking about how much fun they had and how we should do it again soon, and we need to have more Wrestling Uncensored universe gatherings, which I think is very cool, and I think is not a bad idea, and it's definitely something that we'll keep in our mind to try and do again real soon.
I also enjoyed the Ringside Report aspect, too, of this weekend. How we had like a mini kind of pre-show before Ringside Report. If you checked out my Periscope on Twitter, the video that's pinned right now to my profile, that was a lot of fun being there for that, and just Ringside Report itself as well.
Yeah, Ringside Report was definitely represented. We had the show, of course, on Friday night, and our man Wally got to sit in on that, and then, of course, our man AJ was all over. Hung out with AJ a lot this weekend, and he was at Wrestling Uncensored helping us out. He wasn't on the mic as much on Wrestling Uncensored as he is on Ringside Report, but he was there. He was wearing his gi. He was running in the middle of the street. AJ was in full AJ mode last weekend.
Well, one thing I realized is that he's always crazy, but that's fun. That's fun.
Yeah, see, I don't think you'd hung around with AJ as much as you did last weekend, so you really got to see, and a lot of you got to see as well, that AJ is really that guy 24/7, and that's why we love him, because he's an authentic character.
I also realized, I don't know much about Putsin, I guess, because I received a ton of criticism that I brought Wally to La Belle Provence for steak Putsin, and apparently that's a huge no-no, which you aren't supposed to ever do. It's supposed to be classic Poutine, and that's it.
Yeah, I don't think I've ever had steak poutine.
Well, the thing is, I was trying to kill a couple birds with one stone, because we also had smoked meat Poutine.
Yeah, I don't know why when you introduce somebody to poutine in Montreal that you would give them like dressed poutine. Why not just give them original poutine? Like, you know, good fries, good gravy sauce, and then the authentic fromage en grain cheese curds that we make so well here in Quebec.
Well, at first when Wally saw it, he's like, ugh, I don't know about this so much. So I thought, oh, you can have steak with it. Steak's amazing, so that kind of covers it if he didn't really like how poutine actually is.
Yeah, but the steak is in the poutine, so if you don't like the poutine, that doesn't really make sense, John.
No,
why not get a burger and a poutine? That way, if you don't like the poutine, at least you can eat the burger or whatever.
He got a burger too.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't see why when you introduce somebody for the first time to poutine that you would do it like non-traditional. You would introduce them to like an odd version of poutine with like smoked meat on top, or it's almost like giving them an Italian poutine right off the bat, which is delicious, by the way. I don't know if you've ever had an Italian poutine.
Yeah.
They are quite good. And at first I was like, ugh, I don't know, like kind of spaghetti sauce with fries and cheese, like is that gonna be good? Turns out it really is quite good. I was very surprised. Like, my brother was having one, and I was like, let me try that. Let me just see what that's like. Because I wasn't going to invest in buying one. And then I tried it out, and I was like, this is pretty good, actually. I kind of like this. And I've had one or two since. It's not something I have often, but I've had Italian poutines in my life, and they've been quite delicious, surprisingly enough. Italian poutine. I mean, who would have thought? You know? What?
Well, I always found Italian poutine is the best, but
I'm surprised AJ wasn't pushing that on us, you know? Have you tried Italian poutine? What? You haven't had that? It's the best. AJ would love Italian poutine. I wonder if AJ's ever had that. Maybe it's something to discuss tonight on Ringside Report Radio.
apparently we're too, because I believe Rob Cluse at Gimme 5Bs also suggested that we have to get near Quebec City that puts in, because like around Montreal, it's not as good.
If you're in Quebec and you're getting poutine, I think you're doing all right. Antoinette checking in saying we should do a pay-per-view gathering. That's not a bad idea. Watch a pay-per-view together with the Wrestling Uncensored universe. That could happen.
Yeah, which one?
I don't know. I mean, there's a big one. WrestleMania. Maybe we do something for Mania.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
A lot of people want to watch Mania. Like, I always get a lot of people saying, hey, where are you watching Mania? It becomes like a big event, you know? Maybe we just have a party for WrestleMania somewhere.
That'd be a fun post show, that's for sure.
Yeah, we could do a live post show. That's not a bad idea, Big Johnny.
Yeah, pretty good ideas.
We go see WrestleMania somewhere, and then we do a live post show at that venue. And then you could have the universe, you know, talk about WrestleMania right after the big event. Wally Byrne checking in. He says, Mania. It's not a bad idea. Antoinette likes that idea as well. Thanks for the mug, Wally, by the way. Drinking out of this Ireland coffee mug. The morning coffee.
I think Fred had one too, if I'm not mistaken.
Wally Byrne suggests PJs for the party. I don't know how Wally... He says PJs and NDG. I don't know Wally in Ireland. I don't know why he's so aware of that. But Anthony, I guess, was talking to him about PJs. Did he bring him to PJs?
We went by there, and he's like, that's where I watch all my UFCs.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I like that a guy from Ireland is suggesting PJs and NDG. I think that's hilarious.
I'm surprised he didn't just shout out NDG, because that was a big thing that he just said.
Yeah, Wally was very impressed with all the different places in Montreal, like NDG and Lachine and Verdun, and so on. Wally's moving to a place called Bray, which I thought was interesting, because of Bray Wyatt, mostly.
He was also blown away by Dollarama as well. They went to like 4 or 5 different Dollaramas.
Yes. I did make a trip to a Dollarama with Wally and AJ.
How was that?
It was good. We bought some toy guns, actually, that I have a plan for tonight on Ringside Report Radio. You're going to want to tune in to Ringside Report Radio tonight, because I have a big plan. AJ's in trouble. Not trouble, but, you know, he may get shot with some toy gun arrows tonight.
Okay, that's fun. Yeah, looking forward to that.
I've got an idea for me and Fred to have toy guns, and every time AJ gets out of line, we shoot him. Not a bad idea. Instead of cutting off his mic, we just shoot him with a gun.
Yeah, but then you're going to get the sound effects after you shoot him. So that should be fun.
Yeah, exactly. Then you hear AJ reacting about getting shot. Anybody see the new episode of 90 Day Fiancé?
I did not.
You did not catch that. And Johnny was not aware of this new show. So 90 Day Fiancé What Now ended. And then the new show began this week, 90 Day Fiancé Before the 90 Days. So this tracks people that either go to a foreign country or have somebody from that country coming into the States, and it's, you know, their story before they get married, and they're kind of planning on getting married. So you have several couples. You have an older lady from Georgia, and then she's got this 30-year-old dude in Nigeria that she's going to visit. You have this man from the United States who has, I think, a couple of kids, and a couple of divorces, and he's going to meet a woman in Colombia who he's never met, and he plans on asking to marry him, and he's been sending her money, and it seems really sketchy, and there's question as to whether or not she's even real. So there's a lot of crazy stuff on this show, and I've been really enjoying it. Antoinette has seen it. Antoinette, do you think that the guy who's going to see the girl in Colombia, do you think she's real? Because I'm not sure. I'm not sure if she's real. And I think that guy's making a mistake. I think the lady who has a couple of kids, she's got like an 8-month-old and the father's not in the picture. I just feel bad. It's just sad, you know, the kids are there without their father, and it's just, who are these fathers that are doing this? Like, what's going on here? I don't understand. What's, you know, it's just kind of sad. So she's going to meet a British guy, but the British guy has like a criminal past of getting into fights, so he might be like a violent guy. But from the show that I watched, he seemed like a decent dude. He just made some mistakes. Them, I think they'll turn out alright. The lady from like New Mexico going to see the guy in England, I think that'll be okay. They'll probably get married and it'll be alright. Maybe we'll see them on a season of 90 Day Fiancé What Now? But I'm not sure. Antoinette thinks that the Colombian girl may not be real. It seems like a scam. I feel like that guy's getting scammed, which is an interesting twist for us to watch, right?
Well, you brought up off air here that you thought Anfisa and Nicole should have been on this show because they're not married yet.
You say Anfisa and Nicole?
Oh, I think I mixed it up here.
You mean Nicole and Azan?
Azan, yeah.
Yeah. Well, yeah, because the last season that we just watched, right, 90 Day Fiancé What Now? It's supposed to be the couples that got married on previous seasons of 90 Day Fiancé, those couples that we follow now that they're married. I mean, if you look at the show, you have George and Anfisa, they're married. You have Pedro and Chantel, they're married. Molly and Luis got married. Russ and Pau are married. So you have all these married couples, and then you have Nicole and Azan, who aren't married, who are still in the process of possibly getting married, yet they're on this show where everybody else is married. Like, they don't really fit into 90 Day Fiancé What Now? But I was explaining to Johnny North, who's not really aware of the whole 90 Day Fiancé lineage, that they were on this show that's currently airing now, the 90 Day Fiancé Before the 90 Days. That's where they started, and then I guess they graduated for some reason onto this show, which is weird.
So you're just on the show long enough that you just graduate anyways, even if you don't get married? Is that how it works?
I don't know. Because Carini is Brazilian. Paul is a very strange dude from the United States. You're going to like this guy.
Okay.
Very odd man. And he also has a criminal past for like arson or something strange. So they were on the last season of 90 Day Fiancé Before the 90 Days, and now they're on this season as well. So it's like confusing.
A little bit, yeah.
It's confusing, but it's a lot of fun to watch. So I highly recommend 90 Day Fiancé Before the 90 Days. The new season has just started airing. I'm watching it. And if the Wrestling Uncensored universe is watching it, or I should say, I guess, the Dave and Johnny Live universe, you know, join in. It's going to be fun.
Well, it's just amazing how this show just keeps going. Like, there's 90 Day Fiancé, and then there's something else afterwards. It just feels like it's never ending almost.
Yeah, the 90 Day Fiancé train just keeps on rolling. They just keep giving us more and more 90 Day Fiancé. It's like one season ends and a new season begins. It's what I like. Antoinette says Pedro and Chantel are broken up. Wow, what? What?
Well, you're not surprised. You shouldn't be. Like, come on.
I'm not that surprised, but I didn't know. Wow. And Azan has another girl. That makes sense. That makes sense. Wally says he's got an idea for a brand. Vladimir Poutine. It's just poutine with vodka in it. Maybe light it on fire for effect. Not a bad idea.
When I first told him about poutine, he thought it was a drink. But I'm like, no, it's actually not that. And I showed him the picture.
He thought it was a drink.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, poutine is not drinkable.
Well, that's not true. Just it wouldn't be very wonderful to
It'd be
drink that.
terrible.
So
It'd be
bad.
so bad. Cheese, fries, and gravy blended up in some sort of drink. How about for episode 500 you drink that?
I could, but I won't.
Dory wants you to review some Who is America episodes. Have you been watching that? I've been watching that.
I haven't seen that, no.
Oh, do you know what that is, right?
I think he's brought up before, actually.
The Sacha Baron Cohen show.
Yeah.
I've enjoyed it. I think it's been good. I feel like the second episode was the best, maybe, and the third and fourth episode have been all right. It's been good.
I did watch the new Mission Impossible with Wally, and I will put that review up later on.
Oh, okay.
That was a lot of fun, the new Mission Impossible.
Yeah, you went to see the new Mission Impossible movie, and that review will not be on Dave and Johnny Live. You're not giving that to us. You're putting on another show that you've done with Wally from Ireland somehow. What's this?
Yeah, we did another show. I'm sorry.
What's this? You're stealing the gimmicks? I mean, we need content for this show, man. What are you doing to me?
Well, see, that's it. If you come all the way from Ireland, you get to do your own show with me. That's what happens. And that's what we did.
Wow.
Yeah, it was like a whole 40 minutes of just reviewing Mission Impossible. It's fantastic. A lot of fun.
Cool. Any thumbs placed in odd areas in this movie?
I think we gave it biceps, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, I gave it 9, I think.
That's not what I was talking about.
Well, for us...
I wasn't talking about thumbs up, thumbs down. I was talking about thumbs up.
See, this guy is minding the gutter all the time. All the time.
Me? Me? Unbelievable.
Filthy mind. Filthy.
Antoinette wants you to sing like you promised, Big Johnny.
I actually did a couple episodes. I believe it was David that promised a wrestling song, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah.
So, it is on me.
Antonio Bam Bam says, congrats on episode 400. He listened live while watching UFC Main with no volume. And he says, cheers to Dave and Johnny live episode 1 and many more to come. So cheers to you, Antonio Bam Bam.
Thanks.
From out there, he tried calling TSN from Sydney, Australia, but I don't know, maybe he didn't get through or something. That's too bad. It would have been cool to hear an Australian accent on the show. We had all sorts of different accents from different places on Wrestling Uncensored and Ringside Report Radio. It would have been cool to hear Antonio Bam Bam. So try us again, Bam Bam, or DM me on Twitter or something, and we'll get you a number to call in. If you want to call in, we'll hook it up. Look at that, man. Wrestling Uncensored, Dave and Johnny Live. This is an international show.
It is. It's fantastic.
We've got people from all over our great nation of Canada, people all over the United States, people out in Ireland, people out in England. Our boy Andy wasn't able to make the trip, but Andy out in England, he's a day one Wrestling Uncensored listener. And, he's out there. We know about him. We know about all sorts of people actually out in England. We're out there in Australia. We're all around the world. We're in Brazil. We're in Japan. We're everywhere.
Quite awesome.
The universe is growing, and it's growing stronger and stronger. And that's thanks to you. Not you, Johnny. The universe.
No, it is for them. And I'm glad they got to voice their opinion last week. I think you had Peter called in, and the Green Phantom called in, which was quite cool.
Yeah, Green Phantom called in on Wrestling Uncensored episode 400, which, by the way, speaking of the Green Phantom, there will be a new episode of What's Phantom in Japan, the August episode, coming up next week.
Wow.
Because the G1 is coming to an end. The New Japan Pro Wrestling month-long tournament is coming to an end this weekend. Today was the final day of the A block. No one spoiled it for me. I have not seen it yet. It happened early this morning. I wasn't awake. But the A block final matches took place today. It was down to Hiroshi Tanahashi, Kazuchika Okada, and Jay White as guys that could potentially win. Because it's a point system, right? And then B block final matches are tomorrow. And it's down to Kenny Omega, Kota Ibushi, Tetsuya Naito, and Zack Sabre Jr. Now, Omega and Naito both have 12 points.
All right.
Ibushi has 10 points, and so does Zack Sabre Jr. So if Now, Kenny and Kota are wrestling each other, and Naito and Sabre Jr. are wrestling each other on the final day tomorrow.
All right.
Okay? So, if Kenny wins against Kota Ibushi, he wins B Block no matter what. Naito, even if he wins his match against Zack Sabre Jr. and hits 14 points with Kenny, Kenny, in the match with Naito, he won. So the tiebreaker goes to Kenny.
Right.
So he would win B Block. If Kenny loses and Naito wins, Naito would have 14 points. Ibushi would finish with 12, so Naito would win the B Block.
Okay.
If they draw, which is a possibility, if Ibushi and Kenny wind up drawing, Kenny would finish with 13 points, and Ibushi would finish with 11. Naito could win against Zack Sabre Jr. and then win the B Block in that case. If they draw. But if Zack Sabre Jr. beats Naito, if he beats Naito and Ibushi beats Kenny, Ibushi would win B Block.
It's very interesting how this all set up here. Like, wow.
Yeah.
Many different scenarios.
And I don't think there's really a way for Zack Sabre Jr. to win. It would be tough for him to win because he's lost the tiebreakers. Like, even if Zack Sabre Jr. beats Naito and finishes with 12 points, it still wouldn't be enough to beat Kenny because he lost to Kenny.
Yeah, he's screwed.
Yeah, I don't think he can win. But it's very interesting going into the final day.
I feel like it's going to be Kenny.
I feel like it's going to be Ibushi.
Okay, and it's going to be Ibushi against Kenny later on?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, I can see that. That makes sense.
I could see that happening. Man, it's very complicated. Like, I was trying to do the math and everything. I don't know if you saw, but I posted on Twitter and Instagram just pictures of my notes from the G1.
I didn't see it, but I'll check it out.
It's just, like, complicated. I was doing math. I was trying to figure out, like, okay, if this happens or if this happens, there's many different scenarios that could go down that could lead to different people making it to the finals. So the final A Block matches were today, so we know who won the A Block. I just don't know yet. I haven't seen it. The final B Block matches are tomorrow, and then the final of the G1 takes place on Sunday.
Wow.
And the winner of the G1, like, it's important. This is an important tournament. I feel like you make your name in the G1. Like, these are the top heavyweight wrestlers in New Japan, and throughout the G1, you really get to show your skills, your talent, and prove your worth as a professional wrestler. You know, this is where you shine. This is where you show why you are in the position that you're in.
Well, you showed me that clip from Tanahashi and Elgin, and yeah, there was like a low point you showed me actually of the whole.
Yeah, I showed you a bit of a botch because we were talking about a botch on Raw. Yeah, the Tanahashi Elgin match kind of finished in a botch, but the matches overall have been fantastic. The G1 has been a lot of fun.
Well, I told you, like, with botches, I mean, they happen. And that wasn't the final. I mean, if the final ended in a botch, then that would kind of, like, you know, drag on me a bit.
Yeah.
But, you know.
Naito and Sonata the other night was just fantastic. We've had some really great matches throughout the tournament. Kind of too many to name, you know?
Right.
I thought Toru Yano and Kenny Omega a couple days ago was really good. There's a lot of matches that have been fun. Kenny Omega's had a great run. Minoru Suzuki has had a great run. Kota Ibushi has had some really good matches. Naito has had some really good matches. Sonata has had some great matches. I really enjoyed Sonata against Zack Sabre Jr. I think Zack Sabre Jr. has had a really great run in the G1. A lot of good matches from the top talent in the company. I think Okada's been good, but he's been kind of hit or miss, if I'm being honest.
So the What's Fandom in Japan episode, this is going to be what, like 3 hours?
No. It'll be a standard show. It'll be like an hour.
Seems like you have a lot to cover.
There's a lot to cover, but we will, do it in a condensed version to make it easy for you. It's 90 matches in the G1. I watched every single one of them. And, you don't need to watch every single one of them. That's why you listen to What's Fandom in Japan. So we could wrap it up for you, tell you what's good, tell you what's not, tell you what matches you maybe want to go back and watch, and then we can move on to what's next.
And it's dropping this week.
Yeah.
Cool.
Well, Phantom and I are very busy men. We can't spend 3 or 4 hours on shows here. We don't have time. Green Phantom is world famous.
He is.
You know?
He's all over the place.
We're getting comments here on YouTube. I'm just checking them out. Dory wants to know about the Canadian Gangster loss. Yeah, the Canadian Gangster Olivier Aubé-Mercier lost a couple of weeks ago, but, losses happen. It was a decision. Things happen, man. It's MMA. It's a tough sport. Speaking of the Canadian Gangster, I think he's going to be in studio with us on Ringside Report Radio very soon. So, AJ has made a promise, and this feels like, from some evidence that AJ has sent me, it feels like something that he's actually going to deliver on. So I'm excited about that because I like Olivier very much. And he's going to be a lot of fun when he comes in studio for the full hour for Ringside Report Radio. That's going to be a can't-miss episode. So that should happen in the next 2 to 3 weeks, I think.
I feel like this might be forever hype. Like, he's coming.
No. This is actually going to happen. I know Olivier, and if it comes down to it, I'll intervene and I'll actually have to try and get him on the show myself.
Okay.
Because we let AJ kind of do it. AJ's kind of producing and doing stuff. But I might have to say, okay, let me step in here and talk to him.
Yeah, if you step in, there's no problem then, yeah. But if he's running the show...
There was an issue recently where AJ was supposed to take care of something and it wasn't fully getting done. So I had to step in and take care of it. And then it was very well taken care of. Really good. I'm not going to get into it. But let's just say sometimes that has to happen where I let AJ do it to a point, and then if it's not really working, I might have to step in and be like, all right, I'm getting involved here. Let's see what we can do. And usually things work out.
Cool. Well, I hope things work out again.
It'll be fine. It'll be all good. Peter says, long-time listener, first-time viewer live. So thank you, Peter, for joining us live. That's cool. It's always good when we have new viewers, new people checking in. We always appreciate you sticking around. Antonio Bam Bam says he tried to get in, but it only rang. He says kudos to Wally and the other dedicated listeners for attending the studio live. Yeah. We appreciate it. It was very cool.
It was a packed studio, too.
It was super packed. And you did not have any champagne.
No, I don't drink.
You did not have, a glass of champagne?
I had a lot of pizza, though.
You really won't... I didn't have any pizza.
Why not?
I don't know. It just didn't happen.
Man, there was a lot of pizza.
There was a lot of pizza. And I think somebody went home with some pizza because it didn't all get eaten. I don't know where that pizza went. It was good pizza?
I think Kevin Baba took it home. Yeah, it was fantastic.
Yeah.
Really good. I enjoyed it.
It was just tomato sauce?
Yeah, just the slab kind of pizza. But
Yeah.
Man, it's good.
It's good. Yeah, I didn't get a chance, but I did have some of that very nice champagne that we were drinking in studio. You didn't have a you won't even have one glass of champagne to celebrate your 400th episode?
I think I had some water.
When's the last time you had a drink of alcohol?
I can't remember. I remember it didn't taste very good.
What was it?
It's probably beer, more than likely.
Yeah, I don't really like beer either. I can't remember the last time I drank a beer. I could not tell you. It's been years, at least. I don't like it.
Thing is, if it's not water, milk, or juice, I'm probably not going to drink it. Very disciplined in what I have and don't have.
Yeah, enjoyable,
You just change your tastes. That's it, Change what your desires, that's all.
Yeah.
You can do that.
So. Yeah, we're good. We're good. I'm good the way everything is going for me. You can live the Johnny North life, and that's all right. To each his own, Johnny North.
Well, to me, yes, it's everything. And it's fine. It's good.
I don't try to pressure you to change.
Oh, that's not true. That's not true at all. You always want me to try new things and do different things. And
Well, try new things, but not like to your detriment. I mean, if you could have one glass of champagne, it's not going to hurt you at all.
see, this
To
is how it
celebrate,
starts.
it's not going to hurt you.
This is how it starts.
All right, but I'm not saying you have to. You don't have to. Antoinette said the champagne was great and the pizza was awesome. AJ overfed her. Good. We're glad everybody had a good time. Everybody seemed to have a good time at 400. And that's what we were trying to do. We were trying to make it a party to celebrate you, the Wrestling Uncensored universe. This was less about us, Dave and Johnny, and more about Wrestling Uncensored, you know? Like, even though we're kind of the hosts of Wrestling Uncensored, the show isn't just about us. It's about everybody, us, a community of wrestling fans and just people that kind of get together. Like, it's about the universe just as much as it is about Dave and Johnny.
It's funny you say that. I was talking to John Savage, and I asked him, like, what would you change about the show? What would you like to see? And he's like, oh, you guys should talk more about different wrestling. Like, yes, there's Raw and SmackDown, but you guys don't talk about, like, NXT. So I watched NXT this week, and there was just a lot of jobber matches, but I did like how they're pretty much promoting for TakeOver. They've changed the main event now. I don't know if you know that. Where it was supposed to be Aleister Black and Tommaso. Now it's Johnny Gargano's in it, too. It's a three-way. I think it's the first time they've ever done a three-way for the main event of TakeOver.
Okay.
Well, it's interesting. I'm interested in see that match. What it's going to be like. Like, the wrestling style, that's what you would like. New Japan kind of style. It's more free-range kind of wrestling where they kind of just do as they please.
Yeah, no, NXT is good wrestling, and I watch the takeovers. I watch the takeovers, but I don't watch the show every week. I catch it here and there, but I don't know.
The problem is the jobber matches. It's just like, well, these matches don't mean anything. You just have to watch TakeOver. And EC3 and Velveteen Dream, they had a little thing in the pool where Velveteen got thrown in the pool. Okay. But I didn't really need to see that. And Keith Lee debuted. But again, it's a match that doesn't really mean anything. That's the problem with NXT. I mean, it's fun to watch, but really it's just TakeOver you got to watch.
Well, that's it. As long as you watch TakeOver, you're kind of up to date with who's big and who's important in the developmental, and that's it. That's all I really watch. Like, it's all I have time for, and when I do watch NXT, it's like, all right, you know, I see what they're doing there, but it doesn't draw me in. Like, there's nothing on that show where it's like, I must watch this guy or that guy. There's nobody on that show that's must watch for me.
I think Ricochet is probably that kind of guy. He didn't wrestle though this week, but
I feel like they don't use him as much as, like, he's not in the title picture.
he's in the North American title picture. I think he's gonna wrestle Adam Cole. I think at TakeOver.
Well, I'll watch that and it'll be awesome. Like,
Yeah.
that's all I need to see. You know, I don't need to see him wrestle some jobber. Like, I know what he can do. Let me see him in the big matches, and that's all I'll watch.
I think it's really impressive. Like, they only have 1 hour NXT, and there's just a bunch of talent. It felt like it was really rushed, the show, but it kind of made it fun because it's so fast paced. You see so much. Problem is, again, it doesn't really mean much in the end.
There you go. New Japan, everything means everything, you know? Every show is very important. Like, I watched the G1. I watch a lot of pro wrestling. It's tough for me to also watch, like, NXT, that, you know, add that in. It's a lot.
I wanted to watch 205 Live because I was told that it was really good this week, but yeah, just to find the time for that, just couldn't do it.
Yeah, it's tough, you know? I try as much as I can to watch all the wrestling, but there's a lot of wrestling. So I don't know. Speaking of that New Japan Ring of Honor show that's going to be at Madison Square Garden WrestleMania weekend, sold out already. It sold out like first day, within a couple hours. So that's big for pro wrestling. The Young Bucks don't have a deal with Ring of Honor.
Okay, but they
Like,
wrestled Ring of Honor.
Well, I mean, their deal is running out, and they're negotiating a new deal. They're trying to get a new deal, and they're teasing a trip to the WWE. On the latest episode of Being the Elite, they were in Orlando outside of Full Sail University.
Okay, yeah, well, it's not going to happen right away, but that's fun that they do that kind of stuff.
If the Young Bucks were on NXT, I'd watch NXT.
They're deal changers, of course, without question. But they're going to do the cruise for Jericho first. That's going to happen. It's like Rey Mysterio. Like, yeah, he's going WWE, but he's doing All In first.
Yeah, well, the Young Bucks are going to do All In too, obviously.
Yeah.
It's their show. It'll be on pay-per-view, which is very cool. I can't wait September 1st for All In. It's going to be incredible. But I wonder. I wonder if the Young Bucks may be going to the WWE. Like, I could see it happening now in 2018 more than ever. And I wouldn't be surprised by the end of the year if they do sign with the WWE. It's a possibility now.
Well, they have to do what's in their best interest. I mean, they've wrestled everybody, right? Pretty much at this point in the indie scene. And, you know, if you want to make even a bigger name for themselves in WWE, there's a bunch of top teams right there that would be great for them to knock off and finally claim that they are the greatest tag team in all of wrestling. I mean, I think some people already think that, but then they can actually really say it.
They are.
Well, New Day, right?
I don't know.
But you have that hesitation.
Yeah.
That's the thing.
No, yeah, I do.
So, it's there.
It's there. That's money. I want to see that. That's the thing. The Young Bucks are the best tag team in professional wrestling, but what about the New Day? And then you can really have a serious discussion there, because they are both incredible tag teams that they'll be talked about forever.
The dynamics of the two teams are different, obviously, but still very good.
That'd be huge. That would be huge.
Yeah, you're getting a bunch of comments.
Getting a lot of comments. DJ Derek John checking in. He's saying 205 Live was better than SmackDown.
Yeah, I heard it was very good this week.
Yeah. Antoinette says Mustafa Ali's match was awesome. And Wally says, I've got a serious TV for watching all the wrestling. Yeah, Wally saw the TV. What do you think, Johnny? I got a big new TV, 65-inch.
SummerSlam's going to be fun.
Yeah, right?
Yeah.
It's nice. Big.
It's good for your son. Like, he'll get to grow up with a huge TV like that. It's good.
Why is that good for him?
He'll, everything's big. Everything's big when he starts. It's good.
Well, he's lucky.
Yeah.
Gets to see a big old TV that his dad bought for him. Let's wrap this up. Not every episode's going to be super long here, Johnny North. Not every episode of Dave and Johnny is going to run like 3 hours like some of the other shows. All right?
Yeah, the last comment?
Yeah, final comments, final questions before we wrap this thing up. But, yeah, we're wrapping up. I just want to thank everybody once again for Wrestling Uncensored episode 400 and last weekend, and Wally and Antoinette and everybody for coming in from out of town or from Montreal or wherever you came from. It was very special. It was a special weekend for Johnny and I, and it was something we will never ever forget.
Yeah, it definitely stood out. Of all the shows we've ever done, like, nothing will ever be like that ever again, I think. That was just so special.
Well, I say, because it was so good, it was so well received, let's do it again. Let's try and do it again, but next time bigger and bigger and bigger as we grow. That's the plan. And I think the idea of WrestleMania, doing it somewhere in a venue, having Mania on the screens, and then doing a live post show right after is a good idea that we're going to be looking into. So stay tuned for that.
So we got to call PJs and get like a booth or something, or that's
No.
That's what Wally wants, right? Like.
Yeah, no. It's gonna be. It's not like reserving a table, John. It's like.
You can do that though. I'm pretty sure. Like.
Yeah. No, we're getting the whole place is.
Oh, that's my cost.
We'll talk off the show, John. I'll explain how this is gonna work to you.
Oh, you're gonna buy like a bar or something?
Okay. AJ and I will take care of it. Okay.
I'm kind of worried. I'm half worried now.
Don't worry. It'll be fine. Antoinette says lots of drinks and good food. For WrestleMania, you have a little champagne?
Nope.
All right. Good man.
For the ponker.
Antoinette said it was a brutal bus ride, but it was worth it. Well, thank you for taking that bus ride from Toronto.
Sounds brutal. Back
at like 5 a.m., leaving from Montreal. So we appreciate you coming back. It It was great to meet you, Antoinette. It was great to meet everybody that came through. And, yeah, thank you. And thanks for everybody for watching here. The first episode of Dave and Johnny Live.
Well, not really the first, but first under the name.
Yeah, well, it's first under the new name. This is basically the Wrestling Uncensored pre-show. But because the show ran so long, we decided to rename it Dave and Johnny Live. And this won't be attached to Wrestling Uncensored podcast anymore. So when you download Wrestling Uncensored, you will only get Wrestling Uncensored, Johnny and I talking about the WWE. And if you want to download the podcast of this, you can download it. It'll be called Dave and Johnny Live Episode 1.
Yeah, easier for people, I think. More organized.
Yeah, more organized. Separation of the shows.
Better.
Any final words here, John? You want to turn it into the Johnny North Show for a minute before we wrap up?
Well, I guess, Johnny North is having a lot of fun because the Green Phantom and me, we are going to wrestle very soon. Oh, man, I should go right in the center right here. Why not? Okay. So, yeah, me and Green Phantom, we are going to wrestle one-on-one. We're getting the details worked out. And I will be back wrestling September 16th for Drew Onyx. I'm getting some comments here. Got new shirts for both of you, too. We'll show you later. Antoinette. Cool. Look forward to that. Wally, I'm sorry I'm not wearing the shirt right now. It's way too hot. It's tank or nothing right now. And David doesn't let me do nothing. He likes to attack me, the little jerk. Took over my show again, too. He cut my show off.
Well, it can't be how long is this show supposed to go on for?
Yeah, I guess you're right.
All right, that's it. That's it for Dave and Johnny Live. I'm Dave.
Johnny.
Thanks, everybody. Talk to you next week.